What is going on, everybody? Happy holidays. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today, I wanted to talk about a few different things. I wanted to talk about statues I regret selling this year, statues I almost bought and I'm glad I didn't, and statues I kind of wish I bought, and whatnot. So, first, let's talk about some statues I was so freaking close to ordering, and I'm glad I didn't. First one is this Catwoman statue. Now, I do think this is a great looking statue, especially if you're collecting like comic based DC 1/4. And I was super close to ordering this because I actually bought the Bane premium format, and at the end, I actually regret buying that just because ended up selling it and sold it for kind of a loss because it didn't really have good resale value. But I ended up selling all my DC 1/4 scales. So had I bought this, I would have sold it, and I'm certain I would have lost some money. So I do think it's a great statue, but I would have. I'm glad I didn't buy it because then I would have lost money trying to sell it. Because in general, I find most like DC 1/4 don't have good resale value outside of Green Arrow. So, some of the DC 1/4 I don't necessarily regret because I enjoyed it for the time I had it. Like, I enjoyed the Arrow, I enjoyed Aquaman. Some of the other ones I had to sell at a loss, some I had to get repainted. So if I could go back, I probably just never would have bought them to not deal with the hassle. Some statues I don't regret buying even if I sell it later on, because I got to enjoy it during that time. But I am glad I did not buy this statue because I was super close to buying this one. So here's another statue I was super, super close to pre-ordering. This is by Spiral Studios, the King Ghidorah. And I recently watched Gem Mint's video. He did a great job in that video. And I honestly regret not buying this. This is one I wish I would have bought. I think this is an amazing, special, unique looking statue. And I really wish I bought it. I mean, the reason I didn't buy it, and it still holds kind of true, is this thing's a freaking space hog. It is so wide and so tall. It literally takes up as much space as an entire garage shelf, which can hold 2 to 3 1/3 scale statues or a 1/3 in a bust. But I do think this is warranted. I think it deserves that space. So I may hunt this down. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I'd honestly even put it. I would love to just have like an entire kaiju wall. Like if I could somehow have a kaiju wall right here, do like King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. Kong, the Bust, the Godzilla vs. Skullcrawler, somehow move all that. I would love to have an entire wall dedicated to that and have Jurassic Park underneath, or, Jurassic Park and a freaking kaiju wall, I think would be so freaking cool. Having Pacific Rim there. Oh, I'd love it. And I really love this statue, and I think it's freaking amazing. I wish I owned it. If I ever have the chance to buy it for retail, I probably would, take the spurge. Even if I don't have space, I'd somehow find a way to make it work. But I really love this statue, so I wish I bought it. Now, there have been a few ECC busts I almost bought, and I'm not really sure if I regret it or if I'm glad I didn't pre-order it or buy it, because I've seen some reviews and they are kind of mixed. Some of these haven't even released yet, but they are sold out. But for example, this Pan's Labyrinth Pale Man bust, I do like this quite a bit. And I did think about, potentially doing like right over there, a little Pan's Labyrinth display, getting this bust, which I can still buy that along with the Fawn 1/3. So they have a 1/3, and I think the 1/3 actually looks excellent right here. This maquette, I think it looks excellent. I love the little fairies and the overall look of this. I think it's awesome. And I know I could still probably buy this, but I just don't have the space. And I do like the movie quite a bit. I only actually saw it about a year and a half ago, but I really enjoyed the movie. But I still think that would be an awesome looking display. I mean, you could also do the Fawn bust with the Fawn 1/3. I just kind of like the idea of mixing it with the Pale Man and the Fawn, so you get, best of both worlds. But I was, quite tempted to buy both of those. I ended up not doing it. Who knows? Things may change in the future. I also kind of was tempted to get this Anubis bust. I do like it. I thought, man, this would go great next to my Mummy 1/4. And you could still actually get this for quite a good price. It's not super wide, but I thought, man, this would actually go great next to my freaking Mummy statue, the one right there. I thought it'd be a far better companion piece. you know, because I really like Anubis, the design, but uh, so far I have withheld and not splurged and bought this. It's still under the category of I'm not sure yet if I regret it or not. So this one's still kind of pending. Let's talk about. So, I mean, for the most part, I do buy most of the statues I want, but there are a few statues I do regret selling this year. Well, mostly just one, but I really regret selling my Deathstroke 1/3 by Prime One. I sold it for like $900 local, you know, which I figure if I was to ship it, it'd cost me $150 to ship it or more. So let's just call it $1,050 shipped. But I regret selling it, and I want to buy it back, to be honest. I loved that statue, and I think it goes great with my collection. I love it with the Suicide Squad. I feel like I could fit it right here, even having the Harley bust in front of it. I feel like it could go there, or I could just fit it right next to Deadshot, you know? So I regret selling that piece. I wish I still had it. I do question myself if I'm going to regret selling the Spider-Man 1/3 because it's, you know, currently I have it on payment plan to be sold. But I think at the end of the day, it is the best decision just because my Marvel collection is 1/4 and bust. I do want to keep it that way, so having a 1/3 just doesn't make sense. Unless we started getting tons of Marvel 1/3s and I ended up selling off my 1/4 to go the 1/3 route. But we just don't have enough 1/3s out there. You know, we have what? This Spider-Man, we have ECC Hulk and Iron Man, so that's what? Three 1/3s, and this is the even movie version. So, you know, we have far more 1/4 movie versions, and I'm the movie collector. So I think selling that is the right decision. You know, we're also selling that Iron Man, which I do love that, but I think it is for the best space-wise and whatnot to get rid of that. It's been on payment plan for quite some time. But yeah, obviously I regret buying Wolverine bust this year. That's definitely one of my biggest statue collection regrets in my entire life, to be honest. I regret not buying that sooner. I could have saved a lot of money if I just bought it when it was in stock on Sideshow. You know, bought it for I think $4,500 or, you know, much cheaper than what I paid though. So I regret not buying that sooner. Sometimes you hold off buying statues and you try resisting, but then you still end up buying it, and then it costs you even more money. You know, like I should have bought Hulk when it went up for pre-order, should have bought Loki, should have bought T800. All pieces I had to pay an extra premium because I waited till aftermarket when I decided to change my collecting, you know, ways. So definitely some regrets, but that's the thing with statue collecting. You're always going to have regrets, whether you sell a piece, whether you buy a piece. So it's inevitable. You can't avoid it. Every collector I've seen is always going to end up selling a piece or regretting selling it or regret buying it. So it is what it is. It's part of our collecting journey. You know, just hope you don't take too much of a loss if you sell something that you regret buying, or if you do regret selling, you want to buy it back, you don't spend too much more money than what you sold to buy it back. You know, like looking at Deathstroke prices, I think if I want to get it back, I'm going to have to definitely spend more money than what I sold it. So it's like, God, I sold it at a loss, bought it back, and it cost me hundreds more to buy it back. So I'm still debating if I'm even going to get it, especially with space being a concern. But I do love it, and I love the character. So I feel like I want to get it back in the collection. But yeah, that is, you know, some of my regrets and whatnot this year. Definitely wish I had Spiral Studios King Ghidorah. I feel like that'd be such a, you know, like awesome piece of my collection. I just don't know where I'd put it. But I definitely wish I had it. But let me know in the comments below, what are some of your regrets for buying, not buying, selling, not selling, and whatnot. But hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.